Visa rejections are rising sharply across the globe in 2026, and millions of applicants have no idea why. Whether you are applying for a student visa, a work permit, a family reunion visa, or even a tourist visa, the rules have changed. And if you do not know about these changes right now, your application could be refused before it even gets reviewed. Stay with us until the end of this video, because we are going to break down exactly what is happening, which countries are tightening their borders, who is affected, and most importantly, what you can do to protect your application. You are watching Global Immigration Scope. Let's get straight into it. Welcome back to Global Immigration Scope, your trusted source for accurate, up-to-date immigration news from around the world. Today's topic is one of the most important immigration developments of 2026, a global surge in visa rejection rates, affecting applicants from dozens of countries across nearly every major visa category. This update is based on data and policy announcements from official government sources, including the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, known as USCIS, the UK Visas and Immigration Authority, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, or IRCC, the European Schengen visa system, and Australia's Department of Home Affairs. We have also reviewed reporting from the Migration Policy Institute and the International Organization for Migration, the IOM, to give you a well-rounded and factual picture of what is happening worldwide. This is not about one country or one visa type. This is a global trend, and it is accelerating. Here is what you need to know. What is happening? In the first quarter of 2026, immigration analysts and visa consultants around the world began reporting a significant and unusual rise in visa refusal rates. Applications that would normally have a high approval chance are now being rejected, often without clear individual explanations. Let's look at some of the key countries and what is changing. United States. USCIS has implemented enhanced vetting protocols in 2026 with expanded use of social media history checks, financial stability thresholds, and travel history analysis across all non-immigrant visa categories. The request for evidence, or RFE, rate has also increased significantly for H-1B and family-based petitions. United Kingdom. Following post-Brexit immigration reforms, the UK has raised the financial requirement for skilled worker visas and student visas. English language test standards have also been tightened, and dependent visa rules for international students have been significantly restricted. Canada. After record immigration levels in 2023 and 2024, Canada's IRCC began a significant policy correction in late 2024, cutting international student targets, reducing express entry invitations for some categories, and scrutinizing tie of home country evidence more strictly for visitor visas. Schengen, Europe. Multiple Schengen member states have tightened tourist and business visa interviews. France, Germany, and the Netherlands have reported longer processing times and higher refusal rates for applicants from South Asia, West Africa, and the Middle East. Why is this happening? There are several driving forces behind this global tightening. Post-pandemic backlogs have been cleared, and governments now have the capacity to apply stricter scrutiny to new applications. Domestic political pressure in many countries is pushing governments to show tougher immigration control to their citizens. A surge in fraudulent applications between 2021 and 2024 has caused immigration authorities to adopt a verify everything approach. Housing, labor market, and public service pressures in destination countries are making governments more selective about who they admit. Artificial intelligence screening tools introduced in 2025 are now flagging applications for review that would previously have passed through more easily. When did or will these changes take effect? Most of these policy changes came into force between late 2024 and early 2026. Some were announced gradually, while others were implemented with very little public notice. For applicants who researched requirements a year ago and are applying now, the rules they prepared for may no longer apply. Who is most affected? International students from South Asia, Southeast Asia, West Africa, and Latin America. Skilled workers in sectors that are no longer on occupation shortage lists, families applying for reunion or dependent visas, tourist and visitor visa applicants from countries with historically high overstay rates, asylum seekers and humanitarian visa applicants facing longer waits and faster initial rejections. Let's break this down into the key changes you need to understand, regardless of which country or visa type you are applying for. 1. Stronger financial proof requirements. Almost every major destination country has raised the bar on what counts as sufficient financial evidence. Bank statements need to be consistent, not just a large deposit made days before the application. Authorities are now looking for 3 to 6 months of consistent financial activity, clear source of funds, and no sudden large transfers. 2. Social media and digital footprint checks. The United States expanded its social media screening program in 2025, and this has now become a model for other nations. Your public social media activity, including past posts, group memberships, and travel records shared online, can and does affect your application. Inconsistencies between your application and your online presence are a red flag. 3. Ties to home country. The most rejected element for non-immigrant visas, especially tourist, student, and temporary work permits. The single biggest reason for rejection in 2026 is failure to prove strong ties to your home country. This means stable employment or business, property ownership, family responsibilities, and a clear reason to return. Immigration officers are trained to identify applications where they feel the person does not intend to leave. 4. Genuine student requirements. Much stricter countries like Canada, Australia, and the UK are now demanding that student applicants demonstrate a clear and logical academic pathway. Applying for a course that does not match your previous qualifications or that appears to be a reason to enter the country rather than a genuine academic goal is now a very common reason for refusal. 5. Faster rejection without interview. One alarming trend in 2026 is administrative rejections, where visa applications are refused based solely on documentation, without any interview being offered. This has increased significantly in the Schengen zone, the UK, and Canada. If your documents are not complete, clear, and consistent, you may not get a second chance. 6. Processing times are not getting shorter. Despite using AI tools to reject more applications faster, overall processing times for approved applications are not decreasing. The backlog has simply shifted. If you receive a request for evidence or additional documents notice, you must respond promptly and completely. Delays or incomplete responses are increasingly treated as abandonment of the application. So, what does all of this actually mean for you, whether you are currently preparing an application or planning to apply in the near future? For student visa applicants, the window for approvals is narrowing. If your application is not tightly prepared, with proper academic motivation letters, consistent financial proof, and a strong home country tie, your chances of refusal are meaningfully higher than they were 2 years ago. Apply early, document everything, and be completely honest. For work permit applicants, the skills shortage lists have changed in many countries. Occupations that were in demand in 2022 and 2023 may no longer qualify for fast-track pathways in 2026. Check the latest occupation list for your target country before assuming your profession qualifies. For family visa applicants, relationship evidence requirements have increased across the board. Authorities are demanding stronger proof of genuine relationships, not just photos but communication records, financial interdependence, and third-party witness statements where applicable. For green card or permanent residency applicants, processing times are longer, background checks are more thorough, and certain country of origin backlogs remain severe, particularly for applicants from India, China, Mexico, and the Philippines in the U.S. system. Plan for delays of months to years and keep all your documents updated during the wait. Are there any benefits? For highly qualified applicants with strong profiles? Yes. Many countries are simultaneously creating fast-track pathways for top talent, entrepreneurs, and investors. The bar is simply much higher. If you can meet the new standards, the opportunity is still very real. The era of casual or underprepared visa applications is effectively over. In 2026, every single document, every financial statement, every letter of explanation matters. One gap or inconsistency can tip the balance against your application. From an immigration policy perspective, what do we expect to happen in the second half of 2026 and beyond? Here is our expert assessment. The use of AI and digital data in visa screening will expand, not contract. Expect more countries to adopt social media vetting and data sharing agreements between immigration authorities by 2027. Bilateral agreements between countries of origin and destination countries may emerge to create smoother pathways for verified, low-risk applicants. But these are still in early stages of negotiation. Student visa caps, which Canada has already introduced, may be adopted by the UK and Australia as well, meaning that even well-qualified students could be refused simply because the national quota has been reached. Climate migration, people displaced by environmental disasters, is expected to increase pressure on immigration systems globally, likely causing even tighter rules on economic and tourist migration in response. The role of licensed immigration lawyers and certified consultants will become more important than ever. DIY visa applications are increasingly risky in a high-scrutiny environment. One thing is very clear. Immigration policy in 2026 and beyond is being driven by domestic politics, economic pressures, and digital capabilities that did not exist 5 years ago. The applicants who succeed will be those who stay informed, prepare thoroughly, and adapt to the new reality. Let's quickly summarize what we covered today. Visa rejection rates are rising globally in 2026, driven by stricter vetting, political pressure, and AI-based screening tools. Countries including the US, UK, Canada, Australia, and EU Schengen nations have all introduced tighter requirements across multiple visa categories. The most common rejection triggers are insufficient financial evidence, weak proof of home country ties, and inconsistency between application documents and digital records. Student, work, family, and tourist visa applicants are all affected, but strong, well-prepared applications can still succeed. The future of immigration will involve even more digital scrutiny, potential visa caps, and faster, but not always fairer, processing. Thank you for watching Global Immigration Scope. Stay informed and subscribe for the latest immigration news and visa updates from around the world.